So today's the day that we get to go over and teach you about the circle of trust. And really what the circle of trust is the ability to have your prospects and the people you desire to do business with, your current clients, trust you in such a way that they desire to let you in their circle and they do more business with you. So I first started, thinking about the circle of trust. I'm sure you've seen a movie before with, Robert De Niro, Meet the Parents, Meet the Fockers, and he explained the whole concept of, you need to be in my circle to get me to trust you. And our family's currently in it, but I'm not, going to let you in it. And let me ask you, what would that be like if you knew how to get into someone else's circle of trust, or they just felt like they wanted to let you in? If you could learn some rapport strategies to do that, wouldn't it be great to have more people trust you and want to do business with you? It's like that old Sears commercial. I don't know if you remember back in the day. I think it was Sears. And there was a salesman that came over to the man, and the man said, "Stop. You are not in our circle of trust yet." I mean, wouldn't it be great, instead of having people stop you and not letting you into their, I trust you area, wouldn't it be great if they opened up the doors and let you in, put their arm around you and hung out with you? Well, today's the day that I get to teach you how to actually do that. Now, instead of explaining it to you auditorily here and just chatting into the camera, what I'm going to do for you is very simply take you over to the whiteboard real quick. Let me share this with you guys. And what this technique is allowing you to do is to understand what makes somebody build rapport with you quickly, what makes them like you, what makes them trust you, and why they desire to do business with you. Because every great leader, every great person in your sales and marketing business typically knows this, or they don't have words for it, but they're actually doing it. So let's just get a shot here of the board. Let me just explain this real quick. I always joke around about the board here. Are you a tiger in life? Are you going for it like a lion? Or are you an ostrich hiding in the sand? So if you're not an ostrich and you want to be more of a lion or a tiger and a doer, take what I say to heart. So what I want to share with you is a little bit about what I call the circle of trust, called CIR of trust. Now what we have here on the circle of trust is we have a triangle inside, and the triangle is made up of 3 specific points. Now each of these points are 100% necessary for you to start getting the things you're looking for. Are we able to get all this on the board? Okay, and what I'm able to do is share with you the 3 points that go together. The first is being someone's friend. Now, I don't really mean like you need to be their friend, because a lot of us, we don't really know each other. We're friendly with each other. We talk through the videos, but we may not know each other on a friend basis. But to be comfortable with somebody, to be a friend or to be comfortable. The second thing is what I call a trusted advisor. And I first learned about this from one of my mentors, and I'll be able to share that with you a little bit as well. And what a friend does is a person that you feel comfortable with. And a trusted advisor is somebody who gives you good advice. Now, we spend a lot of time, we get the arrows going both ways, doing this. Now, this day and age, I don't know if you knew this or not, but your clients, the second you share information with them or you're out dating somebody and you meet them, people are checking you out these days. I mean, one of the fastest ways to get to know somebody is, check out their Facebook account, check out their MySpace account, see if they're on LinkedIn, do a search on Google with them. And years ago, you couldn't do this. And the last thing we have down here is called social proof, and this is really what the kids used to say, if all the cool kids are doing it, you should do it too. So all of this is connected by ways that go both ways. Now, tomorrow I have a little special gift for you, because I'm meeting with someone later today that's going to give you some great information on really how to get people comfortable with you, and really how to get them comfortable with you so you become an advisor for them. So the way this whole situation works is your goal as a marketer, your goal as a salesperson, or your goal marketing yourself for a dating situation is to really become a friend, somebody with good information that people want to spend time with, and proof that what you're saying adds up. Now, this is great, and I explain this a lot of times to people, and they say, "Mike, great information, I'm glad you shared that with me, but what do I do? Do I become their buddy and wear jean shorts and drink a beer on their couch, my client?" The answer is no. You don't have that point yet. Do you give someone a ton of advice? Like we see all the time, network marketers will send out an entire list of people. They'll send out, here's everything about my company I could find in the entire world. See chart A to explain the product. See chart B to explain the comp plan. Here's 50 videos. Here's 25 this. Check all the attachments. And they give way too much advice in advance. How many of you have seen that before? Somebody that gives you way too much advice. Like they come give that church camp high thing. They came back from church camp. They're all excited. They're fired up. They tell you, oh yeah, you need to do this. And it drives you nuts. Well, I know for a fact that 2 areas we can control the most, and I'll explain how to control this one later and create your own social proof for yourself, is somewhere between here and here is between a friend and a trusted advisor. And what I call that is a sweet spot. You need to meet somewhere in the middle of this entire chart in what we'll call the sweet spot. And what the sweet spot does is the sweet spot explains somewhere between being a friend and somewhere between being an advisor. So what if next time you were talking to somebody, you started doing what friends do? Now what do friends do? They ask questions. They talk about their problems. They talk about what's going on in their life. How are your kids? What's going on? Now that's great. But if you do that too long, you become too close of a friend with somebody. But what if you could find out what's going on in someone's life and offer them advice at the same time? Now, a lot of times I teach a very simple technique that I know you can take away and start using here today. And what that is the ability to talk to someone like a friend, ask questions that friends would do, and then be able to offer advice right away. That's called the sweet spot. A simple technique we do is this. Now, let me ask you a question. How many of you have ever got a call, 2 o'clock in the morning, or 10 o'clock at night, or 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning, and a friend calls you with a problem? People love to talk about the problems. They go on and on and on and on and on. They ask you for what? Advice. And then what happens afterwards is they pretty much do the same thing anyways. But what if you were, when you were talking with a prospect or a client or somebody, you started asking questions. But you asked questions in a way that you could then offer advice for, so they could see you as an advisor. So what the sweet spot is a balance between asking the right amount of questions and offering the right amount of info. That means offering the right amount of info at the right times. So one of the techniques that I've used in the past that's very good is I've realized from years of studying and working with people that people love to talk about what's wrong. You ask someone on a regular basis, what's wrong? Not any of us, because I know we're all positive thinkers and stuff, but people always ask what's wrong, and they tell you what's wrong. They don't ask you, but they tell you what's wrong. They show up at your house, they complain about this, they complain about that. So what if you could find out what was wrong with somebody? Let them tell you what's wrong, and then offer them advice. So you were to say to someone, oh great, how you doing? Great. So let me ask you, what's not perfect in your life yet? Well, think of that question for a second. What's not perfect in your life yet? You say, well, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough, I'm not getting enough significance at work, whatever it is. Let me ask you a question. Could your product offer the solutions to these things? I'm not just saying if someone says, I don't have enough time, you don't say, well, you need to get into my business. Or someone says, I need more money, you say, oh, you need to buy this insurance product. Or I feel lonely, oh, you need to date me. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is if you can get someone to open up enough to you and share what's wrong, ask the right questions, and you'll learn this through sensory acuity, knowing what's working and what's not working, and then immediately, or sometimes afterwards, offer a solution, people will then see you as an advisor. This is like a doctor. If you've had a doctor or dentist that you've went to for years, or chiropractor like I have, that I've been going to for years, he is a trusted advisor. I come to him for advice. He talks to me as a friend, and also there's social proof of lots of people tell me this guy's great. There's stuff on the internet about him and all kinds of stuff. So all I want to tell you guys right now is this, that your goal is to find somebody's sweet spot and find what is a good combination between asking enough questions and offering enough advice. And if you can ask people enough questions, or the right questions, and give them enough advice, they will then let you in their circle of trust. So once you find someone's sweet spot, they will then let you in their circle of trust. Now remember this, before you pitch something to someone, before you attempt to sell them, make sure to gain their trust. Trust, then pitch. Trust, then pitch. What do most people do? They pitch, they send out information. It's sort of like that long email. You get into a direct sales company, you send every one of your friends this long convoluted email that I shared earlier, and what happens is all you did is gave advice, and you pitched, and you shared, but you forgot to do what? Gain their trust by asking the questions, and the fastest way to gain their trust is to be somewhere here in the sweet spot by asking the right questions and offering the right amount of info. Now I know there's a lot of information for you to take in here today, but I'm going to tell you this is something that you're going to have to work on. Now tomorrow I'm going to be sharing with you an awesome video. Right after this I'm leaving here. I got some exciting news for you guys. One of my mentors who taught me how to really find the sweet spot is going to share with you guys some great information. Here's a guy that's made millions and millions and millions of dollars for his own company and tens of millions helping other people develop this, whether it was emails, whether it was social marketing, whether it was social networking, whether it was on the internet, whether it was face-to-face. The techniques that you're going to learn in the next video are going to allow you to start applying this more often. So remember, start asking more questions. As soon as you ask questions, then offer people some advice. But don't offer advice before you first find out if they want it. Because remember, it's not about it being your idea. It's the ability for you to make it someone else's idea. Have an awesome day. Enjoy the information, and I got something exciting for you. Check your email.